person likes a game, like a war, and they want to like imitate it. So with medieval weapons, because so they want to kill people and they're like insane.
So if kids want to imitate it, what do you think should happen with violent video games?
That they should be like not like really violent. It should be more like more non-violent. Yeah.
I agree with Joe John because a lot of like little kids might play God of War, Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty, and if they're at home, they might imitate what they're doing, or like imitate the same behavior that violent video games is doing, and they might get in trouble by their parents or guardian, someone that's there.
I agree with Noah because little kids their brains are fairly changing.
We're changing a lot,
Changing
right?
a lot.
Yeah.
They're changing a lot. That's when they like my brother, he plays violent video games. He plays like Mario crossover where you have to fight people, to fight the Mario characters. So my brother, he plays that, and right now he started like every time I've never seen it before, but every time I go home, he jumps me. When they think.
I disagree with Noel because my parents let them play that video game. So I see why they would not expect them acting like the video game they play.
Oh, I agree with Noel, cause like if you, like me, I'm the medium kid and my little brother. So when I play the game, he goes to my room and starts watching me, and they're like a copy machine. They see and then they try to do it. Like you could take out the bad words, but it won't do anything because they're gonna go. Like now, my little brother, he hits me in the face. He kicks me.
I agree with Carlos, Isaiah, John, and Noel that the game should be less violent and and also I agree with Isaiah because that was my topic.
So Alex had brought up the point, well, if the kid's being violent at home, the parent knows the kid's playing the game, and so the kid's not going to get in trouble. But where does a child spend a fair amount of their daily life?
I disagree with people.
Can you answer my question?
Well, really, the people who sell you the game are not just gonna, oh, you're a kid, I'll give you the game. A parent has to buy it, so it really depends on the parent. Does he care about you? Oh, you know what, just take any random game. And kids spend their mostly money on games, toys and all that, and when they get older, it also depends when they get older, they might have needs like that.
I disagree. Someone answer my question that I asked. Alex was saying, who cares about the bad behavior? If the bad behavior comes, hands off your face, please. If the bad behavior comes because of the video game and the parent knows, then that's the parent's fault. But where does the kid spend a lot of the kid's days?
In the
In house and in school. Right? And can someone remember the evidence that we wrote about from one of our sources? What did they find when they followed students who played a lot of violent video games?
Well, the hot sauce thing, it told you how violent it was and how violent they wanted to be with other people after they played violent video games.
And what was the result of that study?
Well, the person who was playing violent video games was more violent than the person who wasn't.
As measured by the amount of hot sauce they gave out. Excellent, nice memory, Sen. That's awesome. But I was actually thinking about a different part. There was evidence about the school.
Maybe they don't play violent video games at home, but if kids at school do, and they're always talking about it, then they might learn from them because they're like, what if they're in like their same class and they like sit next to them or something and they're always talking about it because they play it, then they might get the idea in their head.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard students in this class talk about it, and it's definitely develops this culture of cool around, ooh, yeah, I play that, oh, so do I, so cool. So I get that, but there might be a difference there between hearing it and actually playing it. So that'd be an interesting study, people who just hear people talk about it versus people who play it. But still, does anyone remember the evidence I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Is it when Adam Lanza, since he didn't have any friends, he started playing violent video games?
Okay, so that's great evidence, but for a different point about the cause and effect. No, it was they followed students who play violent video games, and they looked at their referral data. And the students who played violent video games had
Less referrals.
More referrals. Sure.
more tiffs with their classmates, were more likely to get into fights with their classmates. Anyway, and threaten people. So make sure that you're writing down the counter argument. A bunch of you said that it's not the violent video game's fault, but some of you were saying kids copy, and so we shouldn't allow that, right? So make sure you have the counter argument and you're expanding on yours. Logan, what do you think about violent video games?
I think that mostly younger kids might get addicted to them. So I think maybe like kids for they're under 13 shouldn't allow to be playing violent video games.
So maybe there's some sort of age line we could draw.
Yeah, because actually a younger kid, if you heard bad language or bad violence, I think there's a high chance that he might be saying most of that since he doesn't know what it means.
So you agree with Charlie?
I agree with Logan because now, like, in a year, video games have, like, bad language, nudity, stuff.
I agree with Logan and John, because back then it was just like stick figures, fight, and that's that, and then it used to be the DS Mario Kart or something like that. And nowadays it's like little kids go, oh, how do you play 1/2? Yeah, they do this and that. Yeah.
I have a question for Logan. Why the age 13?
Because more like younger kids are also like in elementary school, and once they get to middle school, they will understand.
But kids under 13 are in middle school.
Well, a line of a teenager makes sense.
But Logan, like say for a couple years, but then their brain starts changing again. So like it's more of like their average emotional behavior makes the person who they are at like a certain age. Their brain starts to change for a second during puberty or something like that.
But as you get older and older, you become more firmly grounded. Your identity
Yeah, but I'm saying
becomes more
if
set.
you get like you're still a kid,
Yeah.
so your brain is still sort of, but it's like less, but still, if you're playing violent video games and you get violent, then you still have a more likely chance of becoming a violent person.
So, Alonzo, what's your opinion on the issue?
My opinion is that maybe it's not the violent video game, and maybe it's the player. And maybe it's not the video game, maybe it's the gun violence that needs to be stopped. And maybe the government should focus on the gun violence instead of the video games.
So you're for gun control?
Yeah, I agree with Alonzo that they have to be more strict on gun laws than a video game, because in the passage it said it has not been proven by social scientists that video games make people violent. So yeah, I think they should stop. They should make more gun laws for guns instead of terrorists and video games.
Jesse was trying to talk about this.
I know that Australia had tremendous success with gun control before they integrated the gun control laws. There were 13 mass shootings, and afterward there has been none.
So since we've had a bunch of mass shootings, I think that if we follow Australia's lead, we could become much less violent.
Yeah, but about, I also agree with Jesse, but for Jorge's fact about they need to make stricter gun laws, that kind of brings up my fact about rapid fire guns in a way, because if they took them away,
Then what would happen?
then it would be a lot less threatening and it would be more strict.
So it'd be like less difficult to kill as many people as
But it
quickly.
would still be easy, but it wouldn't take.
Okay, so you've been doing a really good job of paying attention, but I see some of you are kind of like, oh, I'm just a little tired and I can't make eye contact. So can we please take everybody's arms up and breathe, stretch it out. Okay, just a couple more minutes. Let's talk about gun control and then we'll wrap it up. We can get working on our counter arguments. So if you have not written down a counter argument yet, I want to see you putting that point out there and we can go ahead and try to get you some juicy stuff that you can write about. So if you don't have a counter argument this time, you want to probably put forward one of your points. And even if we disagree, we got to think about what the other side would say. So, who needs a counter argument? Who wants to start us off? Okay, go for it.
I just told mine.
Okay, so the rapid fire guns. Who can think of a reason why rapid fire guns would, we should not outlaw rapid fire guns? Why shouldn't we outlaw it? Just step in like normal conversation.
Because they can be used by the police, the military, the agents. Kidding. And if they didn't have it, they would just have like.
But maybe you would still allow them.
I kind of about a rapid fire gun. It looks more intimidating. Like it's a big gun, and
That's what I mean.
yeah, and a person who has a small gun, it's still gonna do damage, but it's not gonna be that intimidating, because it's not that big that you could just push it out of its hand. Is that the person who's holding it is gonna hold it really strong, and you may not wipe it out of his hand, and maybe that's why.
I agree with Caesar because the rapid gun, whatever. Like if you're trying to kill someone, or like if you don't like him and try to kill him, with the rapid fire you could kill more people than him because maybe you don't have good aim and you might as well just go like.
So why shouldn't we outlaw them? Why on earth do we still have them if that's the case?
Maybe because they said Australia had good control. Maybe because that's a smaller country than big old America.
Oh, wow. We should have guns because we can protect ourselves, but I mean, we're not going to shoot the people that want to attack us. We could just tell them stop, right?
Okay, so the one who did the rapid fire.
I disagree with.
I disagree because first of all, they're gonna like shoot you once you say stop. So might as well just run right when you say stop.
I agree to disagree.
I don't disagree, but I'm talking about we should use to protect ourselves.
Wait, I have a question for Jacqueline.
Go for it.
Jacqueline, I think she said that like we should have guns, but we shouldn't use them. Or something like that. So I was kind of confused about why we have.
We should have guns because we need to protect ourselves because there's the people that want to attack us. But like we don't want to shoot the people.
Then what's the
Then
what's the point?
Decoration?
For decoration.
No, let her explain herself. Hold on a second. Let Jacqueline explain herself. So she's saying, we don't want to shoot them. What are we using the gun to do then?
We want to hold on.
Okay, I think Caesar's got a good word for that. What's it called?
Intimidate. You're gonna want to have a big gun, and a rapid fire. You're gonna be I have a big one, a big gun. What are you gonna do now? And they have a small one, and they might feel like I should like back off. This person may have because the semi-automatic. Well, many pistols are semi-automatic. And it's only one shot, and you have a rapid fire. You're just gonna shoot randomly. So that's why I think that what Jacqueline was trying to say is that
So we need the rapid fire guns to protect
intimidate,
yourselves
yes, to
and
intimidate.
Okay. So Will, you can write that down as a counter argument. Hold on one second. Sinnett started to talk. Sin, can you? What were we gonna say?